you. I know you have been in India for a year, and I have some questions. How was the dress code when you went to work?
Well, thank you for the invitation for this interview, and yeah, it's true. I've been working in India for a year, about 3 years ago. I worked as a finance manager for a Swiss multinational company. The dress code, well, in my position, the dress code was more formal.
Mm-hmm.
So men wore shirts
Mm-hmm.
and like regular pants.
Mm-hmm. How about a jacket?
No jacket, no.
No jacket.
Probably that's due to the temperature, which is simply too hot during most of the year. I was based in South India, in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge city, probably the size of Austria when it comes to people living there.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 8-9 million. So dress code was blue shirt, blue pants, which is standard in our company. So the company gave us the clothes that we wore.
Okay.
They paid for it. So every man got a few shirts
Mm-hmm.
and a few pants, and women usually wore saris. Saris,
Ah.
that's the traditional Indian clothes, which they yeah.
It's kind
they-
of like a dress, right?
Yes, it's kind of a dress. It's basically like a long, we would say like a long scarf.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a wide and pretty long, and they wrap around it. It's quite it's a science, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I never understood how they did it,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, they wrap it. It's quite traditionally,
Mm-hmm.
and usually they wear those saris, which are very colorful, and I always liked it. So women used to wear these kind of dresses, and men were more like European dresses, so like regular shirts, and then people in production,
Mm-hmm.
so on the shop floor area, they were different things, like usually more safety gear.
Mm-hmm. And when you went to a business meeting, did you also use the same clothes, or did you?
Yeah, I
use
always had the same clothes. So usually no tie,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the business occasion.
Mhm.
So unless it was very formal, or I had to meet some very formal official guys, some, let's say from government, I didn't wear a tie.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I have another question. I have read that you shouldn't use your left hand when you're eating.
Yeah, that's true. That's what people say, because usually the left hand is considered as the dirty hand. I'm not sure if you know this, but in India, people usually don't use toilet paper. They use
Whoa,
water.
How gross.
Well, that's how it is. I mean, yes, for me also, I consider it as a bit disgusting and gross, but that's part of the culture.
Mm.
If you go to an Indian toilet, very often you just have a water hose. So you use this water pipe to clean everything. Don't ask me how it works. That's how it is in India. Very often or let's say the poorer people don't use toilet paper. That's just not how they grow up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the left hand is considered as the dirty hand,
Mhm.
and they use the right hand for everything: to greet, to shake hands, to eat. So if you go out to have food, or also for lunch, when we went to have food in our canteen, they eat with their hands. So they don't have some of them use spoons, but they don't have forks or knives. So most of them they just use their hands.
Mhm.
So everyone. So also the managing director from our company, so the top manager, he just opens his shirt like this, he wraps it up over his elbow, and then they start eating like this.
How interesting.
It is very interesting. I usually always had the spoon. First of all, eating with the hand. It's okay, but it's also you need to get used to it. It's not that easy. It's easier than the chopsticks in China, for example. But it's just not. I was just not used to it, and they have spoons, so I always had a spoon. For me, as a left-hander, of course, not using my left hand is almost impossible. But then, you know, shaking hands, everything, and eating, I try to use my right hand. I'm not sure how strict they are. Let me share you one story with you. We went out with a few of our companies, also our top manager and a few visitors. And my girlfriend at that time, she came along. And we learned that please don't use your right hand because the left hand is the dirty hand. So we went out this restaurant and had food, and you get this Indian bread, roti and naan, very nice Indian bread. So it's usually quite a big piece, and what you do, you just take some part of it. So you just break the bread. So it's not that easy to just break the bread with one hand. So my girlfriend, she went and it took her ages just to get a piece out of this bread. So, but she just used her right hand. And then my boss, this Indian guy, our top manager, he said, "Look, why don't you use both hands? It's much easier." And we're like, "Oh gosh, okay." So to get back to your question. No, it's I try to use my right hand, but I'm not sure how strict they are. So in this level, or in this where I was, I don't know how strict they are. You know, of course, we try to understand their culture, but they are also aware that our culture is different, and they try to understand our culture.
Nice. Another question: did you always leave something on the plate when you were done with your eating?
Depending how I like the food, so yes or no. No, I didn't. I know that it is sometimes considered as polite not to finish your food, but if I like the food, no, I finish. I try to behave. I try to behave as I was, you know, back home. Of course, also considering that I'm not back home, but I didn't try to, you know, just be something else. I was trying to be natural, and then I just tried to be nice and said, "Look, I really like that food," for example. Maybe I was wrong, but I think I didn't offend anyone in this regard. I think the most important thing is that you try to be open and smiling, and then just try to explain also a bit what you're doing.
And how about punctuality? Were you punctual and had to wait for business meetings?
Well, punctuality. Indian people are on time.
Really?
But of course on their time. It's a horrible story. Let me be honest with you, it's a horrible story. And even at the last day of that year, I just didn't get used to it. It's I don't know, I'm used to it. I mean, I'm a very punctual person, and I worked for a Swiss company, and they are punctual. And Indian people are just a bit more flexible about time. So their definition about punctual is just different as what we have. Of course, it's not that easy. They have, you know, when you need to travel somewhere, it's huge. They have huge traffic problems, for example, in Bangalore. So you don't know, does it take you 10 minutes or does it take you 1 hour and 10 minutes? You never know. So sometimes they're like half an hour earlier, sometimes they're 1 hour late. Even for internal meetings, so within our company, it's the same story. So usually meetings don't start with a delay of 10 or 15 minutes. It makes me mad. Really, it really upsets me every time, because we are here, you know. I mean, I have meetings throughout the day, so I want to be on time. I want to finish on time, which is a different story there. They always said to us, since we were a Swiss company, you know the difference between Indian people and Swiss people. Then they always said that, you know, you Swiss people. They always said, let me quickly think how it was. They said, you Swiss, you have the watches, but we have the time. That's what they said. I think it's a good explanation. It says a lot. It works. You know, it works there and it works here. But you need to be a bit more flexible, and it doesn't help if you get upset.
Angry about it.
And if you get angry, it's just their part of culture. So you need to understand that it's just like being late 10 minutes for a meeting. That's perfect on time. No need to argue about this. but yeah, it as I said before, it's for me. I didn't get used to it. I didn't get used to it.
You already told me something about the greeting, shaking hands and everything. I have a question. Did you also greet women?
Yes, I did. I greet men like women in the same way.
And was it weird? Because I've read that you shouldn't greet women unless they offer it.
I don't know. It's maybe, you know, the people you meet, the people I met during my year were usually people who had a good education and usually came from a background that was not very lower class, you know. So the people we had at our company they came from university, so they had a university degree. So they knew a lot about other cultures, and you know, I think it slowly changes also because, you know, people travel everywhere and they start to learn about other cultures, and it just gets a bit mixed. So yes, I greeted women, I shook hands with them. I greeted men, I shook hands with them. So it's with men it's a bit more different, because usually, you know, like you shake hands with them and then they hold your hands for a while. So like with women you shake hands more like, just give me your hand, like very briefly, you know. And with men you shake hands and they start talking, you know, and they say yes, it's good, and sometimes you stand like here, like this for a few minutes, you know. So it's more intense, but for me it was the same, and I didn't have the feeling that I offended anyone during my time there. I always felt that it's but that's also maybe your whole body language, you know. If you shake your hands and don't look at them, and maybe a bit rude, or maybe they will consider it as rude or as an offense. But if you're warm and welcome and smile at them, I always felt that this is good.
Great. Okay, I have another question. I've read about the Namaste.
Yes.
I know it says hello, and there's this special bow you can do. Did you ever use that?
Not really. I mean, Namaste is just means hello. So where I live, for example, they didn't say Namaste because they had another language. So it was Namaskara, which is just hello. In Canada, which is the language they speak in Bangalore. I didn't use a special greeting. They have this. What they have is they shake this hand. I can't do it, but they shake this hand on every occasion. It's difficult to know what it means, but yeah, they do like this, and they have special greetings. But I didn't even try, because then I always felt if I try to do it, I can do it more wrong than right, you know. So I said, oh, look, I'm Johannes. I come from Europe. I'm from Austria. This is how we do. Of course, you try to take care what you do, but I don't think you need to behave that you're somebody else. But that was my attitude. That was my approach to this different culture. Probably some people say you were perfectly right. Some people say you were perfectly wrong, or completely wrong. But look, I never had any problems. And yeah.
Is there any other story you would like to share in the end?
Well, probably we could go on for hours and hours and hours. There are tons of stories. There were many funny stories that happened. I shared that story with you about breaking the bread. Maybe one thing that is very common also when we speak about business, or also about, you know, working in India, is the thing about a puja. A puja is kind of a religious ceremony where they, what do they do actually? I mean, they kind of worship gods. So they offer somewhat to your god. So they basically pray for something. So when you have a very important business meeting, for example, the whole company gathers together and does a small puja. You need to you understand what you do. So it's like So the whole company gets together, stands in a circle, and very often a religious person comes. So let's say a priest, and then they bring goods to please the god.
Okay.
So kind of to worship the gods. Maybe
What kind of good?
everything from flowers to sweets. Maybe they light some candles or some other thing. Some how do you call them? Those sticks that smell.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we have also back home here. So these I call them those sticks that give some smell. So it's depends what it is. When I was there, we had a big inauguration. That this we had constructed a new production facility. So there was a big inauguration, and the puja was for hours. And they break coconuts. They spill the water everywhere. They paint the walls. You know, it's kind of a, and they do it in from depending on the occasion. They do very small pujas and very long pujas. People do their pujas at home before big important meetings. So that's a thing that is quite important. And then as I said, probably we could go on and on and on with other stories. But
But
that's it for the moment. Do you have other questions?
No, thanks for all this interesting information you gave me, and thank you for the interview again.
Excellent. You're more than welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.